Most recent Friday the 13th update comes along a new balance. The new balance changes for the characters, including Noob, Elliot, and John Doe, are pretty significant, so I thought it'd be worth discussing to decide whether they're warranted or unwarranted. So let's begin. First up, we have Guest. A successful block will grant speed 1 for 2 seconds, and its charged cooldown is decreased from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. This change is warranted. Any buff Guest takes is generally a good thing, but the thing is that no matter how many band-aids you try and put onto Guest's block to try and make it more viable, its inherent design makes it difficult to use pretty consistently. While the buffs are nice, the design of Guest's abilities are pretty hard to balance out. But overall, they're okay buffs to have. Secondly, Noob. They have a pretty big list, so I'll go through them one by one. Bloxy-Cola and Slate Skin are no longer finite, but their cooldown times have changed. Bloxy-Cola's cooldown has gone from 12 seconds to 50 seconds, and Slate Skin's from 65 seconds to 55 seconds. Slate Skin can be cancelled early and grants speed 1 instead of 2 if done so. Ghostburger's invisibility effect has gone from 3 to 4, and duration of 8 seconds to 10 seconds. This change is warranted! These are actually very nice quality of life changes for Noob as a character, no longer being bound by the scarcity of Bloxy-Cola and Slate Skin, allowing to be used whenever, allows for more free range of what they could do in a match. Slate Skin's cancel ability is nice as it can mess with a killer, though it's still terrible for a multitude of reasons. They should have probably changed to have speed 2 instead of 1 when you cancel it, but overall, the changes are very nice quality of life improvements and it should be more fun to play for Noob as a character. Elliot changes. Rush Hour has a couple of changes. Cooldown is 40 seconds instead of 30, can no longer stack with the injury speed buff, and has a sound effect when using it. Rush Hour initially had slowness 1 when the speed buff ended, but the hotfix removed it. Deliverer's Resolve now has his aura reveal extended to 12 seconds and the damage requirement lowered to 1. And lastly, pizza auras are highlighted permanently no matter the distance. This change is pretty warranted. Everything aside from Rush Hour, I think are vastly nice in quality of life improvements, now that you're able to get people to eat your pizzas for once. Not to mention being able to see who needs healing on the map if you accidentally look away for a few seconds. The pizza change is pretty healthy, the nerf only really applies if you play stupid and chase. Now, onto Rush Hour. Nerfs are pretty warranted for a while now, seeing how Elliot is one of the best survivors with how he's able to heal up the team significantly, while also being able to keep out of harm's way with being able to instantly get a stamina and distance advantage, which at times make chasing a survivor as killer impossible. This change was pretty unpopular to say the least. Though I wish they had kept it in, seeing how it was never that bad, and seeing how Elliot shouldn't be in the limelight anyway, near the killer. But overall pretty good changes, 10 out of 10. Now we got 2 time. 2 times staggered backstep stun has gone from 4 seconds to 3.5 seconds. Front step's helplessness and slowness effect also goes from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. Crouch steps have more end lag now, and crouch duration has been fixed to 10 seconds now, instead of the bugged 5 seconds. This change is mixed. The nerfs to 2 time stabs are reasonable, but the main issue isn't the front stab, but the back stab, with the stun duration being way too high for how easy it is to land. Unlike Shaleski's and Guest, who risks massively for their stun times with Guest, having to parry punch and Shed being locked in place when sword swinging. 2 time just needs to quickly turn away while stabbing. A better fix would be to reduce his backstab stun to 3 seconds or below, and undo the front stab nerf. The nerf was needed, but targeted the wrong aspect. Here's Taff. HP increased from 90 to 100. Yeah, warranted, no argument there. And now we got the killers here. Cool Kid. Walk speed override now has a windup of 0.55 seconds, but has reworked several stats to compensate. Impact damage is 30 instead of 25, doing a total of 45 damage now. Speed increased from 60 to 90. Knockback from 4.5 to 20. And slowing the survivor down for 0.25 seconds when hit. This change is warranted. This change was warranted for a while now, as well as seeing how easy and quick Cool Kid would combo all his moves into the survivor, leaving no leg room to escape. Walk speed override being the equivalent of getting your face blasted off with a shotgun. Though with the stat changes for 45 overall damage and the survivor being slowed down, this might be, if not better, than how it was before. But overall more testing needs to be done to see if it's a good or bad change. John Doe. Oh, it's pretty bad. John Doe's unstoppable passive now only applies when he's stunned during corrupt energy and error 404s and wind-up animations, but increases in speed duration depending on how many sentinels there are. This change is massive. Unstoppable was, if not the best passive in the game, effectively making him a monster in chasing compensation for his slow M1s and sprint speeds. This change was definitely warranted, seeing how it essentially negated a core class aspect, changing his stun to be basically nothing as stun time was non-existent and he could catch up pretty quickly. This massively affects how John Doe deals in chases and crowds, seeing how he doesn't have the crowd control of Jason's M1, nor 1x's ability to use ranged options in a chase, and being the second slowest killer in game without abilities. But even then, John Doe's spikes and traps are monsters in preparing a coffin for a survivor. More time will be needed to see the effects of this change. And that about does it for the patch notes. Like the changes? Don't like it? Make sure to comment your opinion and to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.